bowl. Who wants to make bread? Come on. You're going to need fast-acting yeast, salt, a little sugar, and white unbleached flour. Now, you don't need to have a fancy mixer. You can make this right in any kind of bowl that you have, as long as it's big enough. But I am going to use my KitchenAid today. How are you? It's Wednesday. Okay, let me get my measuring cup for the water. Here she is. Make sure you use a microwave-safe bowl. Now I'm going to fill it 1.5 cups, and I'm going to put it in the microwave for 50 seconds. And while the water is getting to the temperature it needs to get to in the microwave, we're going to add all of our dry ingredients except for the flour at this point, okay? All right, so put that in there. Make sure you're hydrating. That's important. Cheers. Okay. We're going to start with 2 tablespoons of sugar. 1 in the bowl. 2 in the bowl. We're going to use 1 tablespoon of fast-acting yeast in the bowl. And then we're going to do 1.5 teaspoons of table salt. Uh-oh, do I have enough in here? I do. 1.5 teaspoons. Now you're going to take a whisk or whatever you have. Grab your whisk or grab a spatula, it doesn't matter. Something that you can mix it with. Okay. Get your mixy and your water. And as you're pouring your water, you're just going to mix this. Now we're going to let that set for 10 minutes. See there? That's what it looks like right now. But wait 10 minutes. That yeast is going to look totally different. See you in 10 minutes. How's your yeast looking? Let me show you mine. See the difference? See how bubbly? That's a happy yeast right there. That's how you know if your yeast is good. If it's all nice and bubbly like that. If it did not bubble and it looks like it did 10 minutes ago, chuck it, start over. Something went wrong. Either your water was too hot or your yeast is not good. So just don't give up. Try it again with, your water and your salt and your sugar and all that stuff. And just see, maybe the water was too hot. Listen, I've been there. I've screwed up many a yeast. Okay, so what I did was, while I was waiting for the yeast, I took I'm making 2 loaves of bread for my parents. But you take your pan, your loaf pan. If you don't have a loaf pan, it's totally fine. You can just put it right on a baking sheet with parchment paper, spray the parchment paper, or if you have those silicone baking sheets, just put that down on your regular baking sheet like this. One of these. See, this is a silicone baking sheet. And just put it here. And then you just, the way that the dough looks as I put it in there, you just plop it on here. And it will cook beautifully. And it will be delicious. I promise you. I promise you. This is an easy bread. From start to finish, it should take 1 hour. Next, we're going to put in 3.5 cups of flour. I start with 3.5. Sometimes it takes 4. I like to do it slow because if you put in too much flour, not good. Too much flour, your dough will not be that nice, moist texture, and your bread is going to be really dense instead of having all those yummy little holes in it, 3 cups of flour. It has to be white, unbleached flour. Now, if you only have bread flour, you can use bread flour, but you must omit, do not put in the salt and baking powder. No. We didn't use baking powder in this. Don't put in any salt because bread flour has baking powder or baking soda, I forget which one, and salt. So if you put salt in bread flour, it'll be overly salty. But you can use bread flour for this. Oh, here comes Chance. Here he comes. Chance is my little guy that's blind. He has diabetes. He has an autoimmune disorder that attacks his red blood cells. And he has irritable bowel disorder. But guess what? He's doing fantastic. But his two siblings, Oliver and Sophie, whom are also English Springer Spaniels, are confused of his ailments, and so they attack him. Here's the half cup. Hold on. Hey, buddy, I'm right here. Hey, sweetheart. I'm right here. Hi. Hi, honey. Hi. Want to come see my mommy? Come on. Come sit over here. Come on, let's go sit here. There we go. I doopy 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 doo. There you go. Sit right there. There you go. No, you don't want to? Okay. So now I'm going to get out my hook. If you don't have a hook, just use like a spatula and just start turning it easily, and it turns into a dough pretty quickly. All right, you ready for this? Here it goes. I just have it on level 1 right now. See all those nummy bubbles? That's good. That means your yeast is really, really happy.
Flour in a bowl, it's dusty and white. A big mess we make, gonna make it right. Yeast is hungry, needs a snack. Sugar and water, don't look back. Baking bread, rising up just like we said. Need that dough, punch it down. Best bread in this whole town. Oven's hot, a golden glow. Watching it rise, nice and slow. Smells so good, can't wait to taste this yummy bread. No time to waste.
You know when it's done, when you poke it, see your fingers clean. Just going to knead her a little bit. Just a little. Just to get those, see these lines that are in there? You just want to get those out. Because if you don't, I mean, it'll just show cracks in the bread. But then I just roll it too to get those cracks out. And honestly, I think this could have actually used only 3 cups of flour, because sometimes it's hard to get the cracks out if you use too much. I'm going to show you. See all these cracks? I'm going to show you what that looks like when it comes out of the oven. And sometimes you can't get the cracks to come out because I did use a little bit too much flour. It's too dry. You can tell. You can tell when I touch it, it's too dry. Hey, Chance. Hi, bud. I'm in the kitchen. But that doesn't mean that this is going to be thrown out, because it's still going to be good, and it's still going to have some air bubbles in there and stuff. It's not going to be overly dry. You see Chance's head shaking. That's due to the increased speed of the video. A dish towel, not a fuzzy one. These, what are these called? Tea towels, I think. See, they're not fuzzy. See, like, you don't want to put a fuzzy one like this on there, because the little fuzzies might get into the bread. Now what I do is I proof my bread in the oven. So you wait for your water to get warm, because what you're going to do is put this towel over it, and you're going to put your bread in the warmest place that you have in your house, because that's going to help it really rise and get that good crunch on the outside and softness on the inside. I can't do sourdough. It's too many steps. One loaf takes so many hours to cook. You got to take care of the sourdough stuff. I've tried so many times, but I can't ever get that starter. Can't even get past the starter part, really. I've even purchased like starters in the store and things like that, starter kits. Nope, can't do it. But I have a poor man's bread recipe from the 1920s that comes out just as delicious as sourdough bread. So stay tuned for that in another video. Okay, so we're just going to take this loaf of bread here, and we're just going to cover it. And I mean, you could leave it right on top of your stove top or wherever, just wherever is warm. I'm going to put mine in my proofing oven. And I'm going to let it proof for 20 minutes. See you back here in 20 minutes. Also, while your dough is proofing, set your oven to 400 degrees bake. Okay, see you in a bit. to show you this second loaf. Let's see how this comes out. This one I just put in 3 cups of flour. Let's see how it goes.
Flour in a bowl, it's dusty and white. A big mess we make, gonna make it right. Yeast is hungry, needs a snack. Sugar and water, don't look back. Baking bread.
Okay, now I'm gonna take a spatula and I'm gonna scrape the edges. Or you could also use one of these. If you have one of these. Let me just scrape down the edges. See, that's still a bit sticky. See, you don't want it to stick to your hands. So I think I'm going to add 1/4 cup flour, just a tiny bit. Actually, you know what? I'm going to add a tablespoon at a time because I don't want it to turn out dry. I want to show you how it's properly supposed to look. Let's see. Let's do a tablespoon at a time. Okay, I'm going to lift her up. I'm going to turn it on, and I'm going to sprinkle it in there as it's turning. See, if I put in 1/4 cup, that would have been way too much. So see how it doesn't want to collect? Pick up that dough down there. It's kind of being persnickety about it. Yeah, 1 tablespoon. See, that's all it needed. See that nice ball it's forming versus the first one? It's still sticky though. Okay. Just gonna sprinkle a little bit right in there. All right, let's go. There we go. See, it should start coming off the hook a little bit there. Let's try with the clean finger. Still sticky. So every time I make this bread, but it's not under here. See, it's coming out clean on the bottom, kinda. Not really. Still sticky. Okay, let's do another tablespoon. This is the 3rd tablespoon now. Okay. Baking is different than cooking. You gotta have a lot of patience with baking. People ask me for this recipe after I give them the loaf of bread, but I always tell them to start with 3 cups and add a little bit at a time because it's not exact every single time. Sometimes I have to add so much more, I'm up to almost 4 cups, you know? So just take your time with it. I always need at least 3 cups of flour. Always. It's never less. So just start with 3 cups of flour and then add slowly. See that? That's much better. Let's see. Let me use a clean finger. It's still a little sticky, but okay. No, it's not too bad actually. See the bounce back? Watch the bounce back. Okay, that's because my finger's sticky. Watch the bounce back. Watch. Oh no, it's still sticky. See that? It's so frustrating sometimes. Yep. Another tablespoon. I thought after that one it was good, but no. Okay, let's go again. Okay, my pinky's clean. Oh, perfect. You see that bounce back? Watch. See how it bounces back like that? That's what we want. The unplugger. Extra virgin olive oil pan. You can use your scraper and scrape it off the hook. There we go. Sometimes using your hands easier. Oh yeah, let's see. See how much? See with this one, see how there's no like real cracks in it? It's just light and fluffy and airy. It might stick to your fingers a little, but it shouldn't that much. Let me bring you down here. I'm not gonna knead this. I'm just gonna put this in my bread pan and I'm gonna just spread it out evenly in there. See that? Spread it out as evenly as you need, as evenly as you can. Now I'm going to get another tea towel. Here it is. Okay, so we're going to run the warm water again. You get nice and wet. You don't want to have any dry patches on it. See how there's a dry patch there? Want to get it all wet. Whoops, I'm getting my counter all wet too. Okay. Wring it out real good. I'm just going to cover it up and put it in the proofing oven and let it proof for 20 minutes. So after my bread gets done proofing, I'm going to put it in the 400-degree oven. I'm going to check it in 23 minutes. And then if it needs a couple more minutes, we'll add it. Okay? So when I come back to you, I'm going to show you what the bread looks like proofed before I put it in that oven at 400 degrees for 23 minutes. Be right back. Let me show you what it looks like. Now it's going to go in the oven 400 degrees for 23 minutes.
Flower flying high like a cloud in the sky. Eggshells cracking, oops, they fell nearby. Sprinkles on the table and the floor and my hair. But who cares, who cares? It's a party everywhere. Baking mess is fun, oh yes, chocolate on my nose and a frosting dress. Cookies might be crooked, but we'll eat everyone. Baking mess is fun, so much fun. Oh, so fun. Sugar spilled over, now it's sticking to my toes. The timer went ding, but where did the time go? Laughter's in the oven, rising like bread. Let's make a whisk instead. Baking mess is fun, oh yes, chocolate on my
Hear that? Bread's ready. Now this is the first loaf that had those cracks in it, remember? Let me show you. Let's see how she came out. Now the other one is also ready to go in the oven. Remember, this has been in a 400-degree oven for 23 minutes. Oh, look at her. I just bounce it out like that, and I'm going to put it on a heating rack. I have to put it in a place where the dogs can't reach it. All right. There's bread number 1. See how she looks. See the cracks that I was talking about? I mean, it's still going to be delicious. But if you were wanting to like sell these or something like that, I wouldn't want to sell anything with those cracks in it. I'm not doing this for selling it. Oh, those people, I have people here in the area that have made their porches, now I'm going to put in the other one, have made their porches into their little bakery, and they bake and they bake. Look how this one looks. See, no cracks? They bake and they bake for I don't know how long, all dozens of all different kind of cookies and all that stuff. And then they have it in beautiful bags, and they have a cute setup on their porch. I don't have the energy for that. Okay, so I'll be back when the other one's done. 23 minutes, 400-degree oven. Oh, look at her. See the difference? Let me show you. Oh, it smells good. Well, let me know if you tried my bread recipe. You'll have a great day, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Mwah.